Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Swami Shila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You're going to read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And this is chapter 18. Text 69. Okay. 68, 69. Yaidam paramam guhyam bhakte shvabidas yati bhakti mai param kritva mamevaishyatya samshayaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, generally it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed among the devotees only, for those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is, should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only and not for philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gnanjana Shalakya Chakshunamalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharnane Vishesha Shnevadi Paschatya Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So today's evening subject is preaching is the essence. So we will try to define what means preaching, what is the essence, what we should strive for, how we can understand our position. These are all very essential points so that we can gain what we are all looking for. And that's some kind of happiness, some satisfaction. Because this is the primary aim of our existence. Anandamaya Vyasat. We are all by nature blissful. But because we don't know how to be blissful, that's why we struggle in this material existence. Let's say anytime when we hear something that is inspiring, something that makes us happy, something that makes us satisfied, not just when we hear, sometimes when we can also see, whatever it might be, what we can consider inspiring, what do? What is the nature of a living being when he gets something valuable, something good? What do you think? What happens? You must be having some experience. When you get something, let's say you see something, just like recently, one devotee sent me some interesting discussion about the Holy Name as a documentary, and some interesting connections with the other traditions. So I felt very inspired, and I had some urge after that. I felt some impetus to yes, okay, but then what do you do? That's what I'm trying. I won't tell you, I won't disclose immediately what I did. But what would you do? Let's say you receive something nice, inspiring, good. What is the tendency? What do you do? Please raise your hand. Anybody wants to answer? Want to raise your hand? What do you do when you get something nice, something good? What do you do? Yes, that's the point. You want to share it. You want to share it. And when you share it, how do you feel then? Yes? You feel even more blissful, yes or no? So that's what I did. I received that, and you kind of feel the pride that I'm the one who sent to this one. Now I'm the one who informed this person about this, and now they can relish. Hey, there's some kind of a satisfaction as such. So we want to share it because it's natural, because once we share anything, the happiness increases, yes or no? If we are just selfishly coveting something for ourselves, there's not much satisfaction there. It's like, let's say, when you would be eating something and you just hide somewhere and take it yourself, there's not so much pleasure there. But if you would have been sitting amongst your friends or something, especially devotees, or sharing, and that's like we see that picture of Krishna when they have a lunch break. There's so many boys and they keep on sharing their tiffins and so forth. They're all in so much bliss. There's so much happiness. So the essence is the dati pratigranati, in sharing, in accepting and giving. These are the loving exchanges of friendship. And they increase our satisfaction, they increase our happiness, So that's what the spiritual life is all about. Keep on giving. The more we give, the more we are selfless, the more satisfied we become in the spiritual life. Not even spiritual life, it's also a material principle. The more we are giving, the more we will be satisfied, internally satisfied. And of course, the more it will come. That's very interesting. That's another principle. So when we talk about spiritual practice, how many of you are here for the first time? Anybody? First time, second time, third time? Or all of you have been here for a while? Okay, second. Okay. Anyway, so I guess most of you already know something about spiritual practice. You have some idea about spiritual practice. So it is just natural. Remember, when I started practicing Krishna consciousness, I felt that I have to give this. I have to share this also with someone. It was so good. And of course, who is the closest to you? It's your family members, no? So I felt this is so good, this is so great. I want to share, I want to inform them about what I've received, about what I have. And that was a big mistake. I learned that in a little harder way. And I won't tell you now what happened, but I decided I'll never talk about it again. But I won't stop doing it because I was so excited about it. And it was a very great relief for me and quite an enlightenment. I had a great appreciation. So I didn't in any way stop it. I just consider how to increase it. But that tendency to share it is there. And this is something also that it's mentioned here in Bhagavad Gita. It should be given to those who will appreciate, not to those who won't. That's one reason has been given here. So somebody who already has some appreciation, that it's there. But again, there are forms of presenting Krishna consciousness that it's not necessarily philosophical or cultural. It can be something that it's in relationship to Harinam, Sankirtan, It is through the holy name. It is through prasadam, So there are different ways, different forms that we can present Krishna to others. And in this way, somehow make them purified, make them more interested towards spiritual practice. So there are different ways. It's just like Srila Prabhupada would say, how to advance in spiritual life. You don't just enter into the drugstore, and say, I want this medicine, I want those pills, I want that syrup or something, whatever, this and that. It goes by prescription, You can't just decide for yourself, I like the color of that, or I like density of this, or I like this or that, whatever shape, whatever. No, it goes by prescription. So therefore, we have to understand what is someone's condition and dosage it properly. It has to be a particular type of dosage that we administer Krishna consciousness. And then we see again, when we share, how much more our satisfaction is increasing by giving. That's an incredible spiritual principle. This itself, what Krishna had come to give in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Giving more of that Krishna consciousness, and in that way increasing his own bliss, his own satisfaction. Seeing how people are satisfied. We know that the qualities of Vaishnavas are paradukha dukhi and parasukha sukhi. Means when a Vaishnava sees someone that he's sad, he also feels sad. If somebody is miserable like this, then devotee also it's not happy. It's like, Of course, we see nowadays people see someone miserable, they feel very happy about it. That's material. That's material conditioning. Very, very low quality. But devotees are not like this. It's not like when somebody is happy, then material people, they feel happiness only. They think, wow, nice, everybody's miserable, but then I'm happy because they're miserable. That's not a very nice quality. That's a very abominable quality, actually. So devotees are, when they see someone happy, devotees are happy. Devotees are satisfied. But we know that nobody can be happy without Krishna. It's impossible. It's impossible to be happy and satisfied in this world without the source of happiness and satisfaction, like Rama. Rama means the pleasure, source of all pleasure. How can you be happy and satisfied without being connected to the source of what we are looking for? So there's no question about it. So therefore, in this verse, it's very interesting. Krishna is talking about this transmission of this knowledge, which should be given, which should be presented. And of course, the best is if somebody has the appreciation. As like sometimes, yes, we have to be cautious. We have to be cautious if we present certain kind of information and knowledge to someone who will not appreciate. Then the example it's given, Chanakya Pandit says, is just like feeding snake banana milkshake. then what will happen? It will just increase the poison of the snake. No? So we have to be very cautious. No? But again, even then, devotees will sometimes, even greatest demons, when they're exposed to some kind of spiritual potency, just like they said, they're exposed at least to holy name, they'll also become purified. It will be there. Just like now, a few days back, there was Nrsimha Chaturdashi, no? Or Nrsimha Dev appeared. And how did Prahlad Maharaj appear? Everybody knows the story. That drama has been played, no? Nobody played that drama. And how did Prahlad Maharaj appear? Prahlad Maharaj, he appeared in a way that it's very inconceivable. But there were two very great sages, two very great friends, Parvata Muni and Narada Muni. They took forms of the sparrows, birds, that when Hiranyakashipu was meditating, they started chanting, Om Namo Narayana Namah. You go to South India, you will hear this tape, in all the South Indian temples. Om Namo Narayana Namah. Om Namo Narayana. It's very nice. It's very, very beautiful. So Hiranyakashipu was performing his austerities, and he was getting so disturbed that who is chanting the name of my enemy? And that vibration entered into his mind. He was so disturbed that he couldn't continue his. And sometimes, we feel disturbed by something, and then we can't continue that activity, because mind is just so overburdening us. It's like so much disturbing us. So then he stopped. He just couldn't perform austerities anymore. And then, of course, what the materialists do, that they take shelter in sense gratification, to try to forget everything else. And that's how Prahlad Maharaj was born. But with that consciousness of Om Namo Narayana, Hiranyakashipu couldn't forget that. He couldn't forget that. So it was a very, very strong impression. So even the greatest demons, when exposed to the holy name, if nothing else, is, as we said, prasadam, or even certain instruction that might be there. Just like Srila Prabhupada said, if we distribute this knowledge, if we distribute Bhagavad Gita, even if somebody touches the book, they will benefit. They'll become purified. What to speak if someone, tries to read something? Just like once there was one of the prominent devotees in ISKCON, very prominent book distributor. He said he was in Australia and he was distributing books and he was distributing Bhagavad Gita. And he came to one person. He said, I'm an atheist and I hate all of this. And then what would you do? And I was distributing books. And then he was like, oh, you hate all of this? He said, how come? Because I hate God. And I don't want to have anything to do with this. So then he was very sharp, very clever. So he said, oh, okay, you hate God. So why don't you learn more about him so you will know how to defeat him? So you take this book. And he purchased Bhagavad Gita. So you see, that's what Krishna inspires. Krishna inspires from within. So even greatest demons or atheists, whatever, sometimes they receive the copy of Bhagavad Gita, like this. Even knowledge, something. They'll get purified. Of course, Krishna is saying here, we shouldn't do it, but that's the mercy of a devotee. That's the mercy of a devotee. Sometimes devotees is more merciful, it is said. It's more merciful than Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee. He didn't discriminate who is qualified, who is not qualified. No, it's just the storehouse of love of God, it's open to flood everyone. So that principle for the devotees, it's not under such strict consideration because devotees ultimately know what Krishna wants and what is beneficial for everybody else. Of course, again, there has to be a caution. It's not just all extreme black and white. There's a lot of gray area in between. So devotees have to be intelligent. Of course, when they take shelter of Krishna, they know how to present Krishna consciousness to whichever extent it should be presented. That is also there. But again, devotees are more merciful. That's why even in such kind of cases, they will try. They will try to benefit everyone practically. But again, Srila Prabhupada would point out, as we said in the beginning, when we feel blissful, when we feel happy, and that is the feeling that comes when one is practicing spiritual life, we have the tendency, we want to share, and we always should share. So therefore, we have to find some way, how do we present this to others for their benefit? Because it will be natural that we want to share. Because there's nothing, what is there in this material world that it's worth sharing? People are sharing, so many chats, this, that, people are sharing. You all know what is going on. So many things are being shared. What is the benefit of all of it? Nothing. It's just detrimental. It's just contaminating. It's just degrading. So why we wouldn't share something better, something that is purifying, something that is enlightening, something that is really blissful, and that is Krishna consciousness. So what is there better than understanding our real identity? What is there better understanding what is the ultimate goal of life? What is that better to share and preach about, that kind of lifestyle, which is the purest type of lifestyle, which is the healthiest type of lifestyle. There's the most meaningful lifestyle. That's all preaching. That's all preaching. This is all what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. This is all what Krishna has given also here in the form of Bhagavad Gita. The highest, the deepest, the most enlightening treatise of philosophy, philosophical understanding, the final essence, Gita Panishado Gavo, as Shankaracharya would have stated. Is the final cream of the knowledge of the Vedic wisdom. Just like Krishna also said, Vedaischa sarvai aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. I'm the compiler of the Vedanta. I'm the final essence. I know the Vedas. So what is that? So this is what is Bhagavad Gita. And that Bhagavad Gita ultimately leads us towards surrendering to Krishna. Leads us to surrendering to Krishna. Because nowadays, nobody can say, I'm not surrendered to anyone or anything. We're all surrendered to some extent. We're surrendered. Every day we have to check our mobile. No? Are we surrendered to our mobile or not? Yes, we are. We're heavily dependent. Heavily dependent. So many other things we are so surrendered to. But when we start practicing spiritual life, we understand that it's way better to surrender to Krishna and allow Him to guide our lives. And when we have that experience, then again, naturally, as I said, we have the tendency, we want to share that. So you will see that when you practice spiritual life, you will gain so many realizations, you will get so much appreciation, and for that, you will want to go and share it with others. Just going out and share it. This is something great. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this point? Wow, this realization I had just today, or something happened. Or what about this? Do you know about Krishna? What is his position? How beautiful he is? How wonderful activities he is performing? This and that. So when we become Krishna conscious, then naturally we will share that Krishna to others who are absolutely in ignorance about anything in relationship to spiritual life. So we have the tendency. This is why preaching is the essence. Srila Prabhupada spoke about this, and then devotees coined the phrase that purity is the force. No? Purity is the force. That means even if we, let's say, want to preach or present something, there has to be purity. What is the purity? Again, following proper lifestyle, pure lifestyle, not something that is contaminating. Then he said, utility is the principle. Preaching is the essence. And one more. Anybody knows? You have heard about it? Yes. Books are the basis. So preaching and books go very well together, but also utility and purity. All of it is connected. So preaching can be done in any way. You can just, all of you are studying mostly, right? Studying or working. You're all surrounded with so many different friends and colleagues. And all you have to do is just share something inspiring that you have been exposed Share something that you have been inspired by, and it doesn't have to be necessarily directly, connected to Bhagavad Gita or something in a sense that you present it as such. You already pointed out, you find out how are you going to present it. You have to see, you have to also know them. That would be better than just like parrot-like repetition. And then it's just natural. We just share with them that bliss, that ecstasy that we have received and felt ourselves. And this is the essence of Krishna consciousness. And the more we do so, the more again we will be blissful. And that bliss will be increased. So Srila Prabhupada therefore pointed out, when we present this Krishna consciousness, actually it was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Mari, said, that's why she sent Srila Prabhupada to the Western world. He said, if you preach this message, then all of those who receive that message, they will be benefited. And you will also benefit. Everybody benefits. It's not just like nowadays, anything material. There is some benefit, but there are so many side effects which are negative. No? Anything material, it has that kind of nature. It has that kind of defect. But spiritually, it's more or less almost just like Ayurveda kind of. There's no side effects. No matter what you take, there's not going to be something negative. No? But on the contrary, spiritual, there is all blissful. It's all beneficial. So the more we share, the more we present this message, the more we will benefit. And then also what happens, then in this next verse, it is said that there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Yeah, just at the time. So therefore, when we present this message, when we present this knowledge to others, then also what happens? Krishna becomes very pleased. Because that's what we pointed out, when we benefit others who are in such kind of contaminated, conditioned state, then Krishna also becomes very satisfied. And when we act in such a selfless manner, that we try to elevate others. And then that way we also become purified. We also become elevated even more. So if we want to be dear to Krishna, if we want to be dear to Guru Parampara, then we follow their instructions, then we follow their message, then we follow this method of becoming blissful ourselves and making the whole world very blissful as well. Okay, since our time is up, we'll stop here. Is there any other? Or we take some questions, or what is the question? Huh? Okay, there are questions and answers. Yes, please. What is it? Yeah, I'm taking. I thought you had a question. Okay. Anybody having any question? So that's why preaching is the essence, because it directly connects us to Krishna. It directly invokes His mercy. It's an incredible shortcut, to the essence that we are looking for. To realize our eternal nature, to realize our position in relationship to Krishna. Okay. Anyone having any question, something? Okay, so then we will stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I express our gratitude to His grace. Adbhuta Hari Prabhu chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. For the next session, we invite His Grace Chakravarti Prabhu. Most of the devotees know Prabhuji. A brief introduction. His Grace Chakravarti Prabhu, prior to coming to ISKCON, was working with Wipro In the year 2005, Prabhuji joined ISKCON Juhu. In the year 2005, Prabhuji joined ISKCON Juhu, full-time devotee, and more than 2 decades now he has been serving in various departments. Prabhuji currently is heading many unique departments. One is at national level, IIYC, that is ISKCON India Youth Convention, which takes care of all the youth preachers and services in India. Prabhuji is heading that as a chairman. Prabhuji also takes care of the HR department at ISKCON Juhu and the unique preaching style of preaching to deaf and dumb. We hear about Shravanam, Kirtanam, and for those who cannot do that, for preaching to deaf and dumb, Prabhuji is heading the department. Also, Prabhuji is a member of Board of Councils at ISKCON Juhu, which is top body of management. And many more sevas. Prabhuji has a YouTube channel with more than 120k subscribers. So let us welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly and heartily. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So our topic is preaching is the essence, and 3 different speakers, because preaching can have, how many varieties of preachings can be there? Little more than 850 crores as of today, because that is what the population of the world is. Everyone is unique, and every preacher has their own English chalega, Hindi bol. English chalega. So every preacher has his own unique way of preaching, and every person who is to be preached also has a unique way of reception, how he will receive or he'll accept knowledge. Sometimes, you may preach to a person, but he may not take up devotional service. And suddenly after a few months or few years, you see he's a devotee somewhere else. So there are many factors which affect. So this is about one who is to be preached. But we are dealing with all of you who are supposed to be preachers. And preaching is, how many of you have blood in your body? So if you have blood, you can preach. If you don't have blood, it's okay. We will not blame you. That's what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said. If you have life, you preach, because dead man cannot preach. And preaching, why preaching is essence? Why they said preaching is the essence? Because preaching is what makes Krishna happy. Preaching is what makes us happy. And preaching is what makes the other person who is preached him happy. Because he is happy and the preacher, we are happy. So seeing both of us happy, Krishna becomes happy. The preaching is as natural as breathing. How? I'm sure before you came to ISKCON, you would be going out watching some movies or something. So what do you do when you go for a movie? You watch the movie, you come out of the theater. What is the first thing you do? share. Whether the movie is good or not good, you share your own personal review. That is a human tendency. And if I will tell you, Prabhu, you have, just now coming out of the theater after watching the movie, please don't share with anyone. If I'll tell you don't share with anyone, you will be more restless to share. You'll become restless to share. So sharing is very natural. If you like something, you share. If you don't like something, share. Srila Prabhupada said, what was the word he used? Marketing, good or bad, still it is, what's the word he used? He said? Publicity. Prabhupada said, publicity, good or bad, still it is publicity. So if someone of you go out and write in your Facebook or Insta story that today I went to ISKCON, the prasadam was not good. But still ISKCON will get publicity. There are some people out there who will want to know, ISKCON gives prasadam. Maybe he did not like. Next week I will go. Maybe I will like it. So that's how publicity works. And you see all these days, they do a lot of negative publicity. Because negative publicity is actually very good. It psychologically, it pulls you. Yeah. So then, in maybe 15 years ago, Russia banned Bhagavad Gita. They said no Bhagavad Gita. And in the month of November. So all over the world, Russia is not a small time country. So all over the world, people started talking about Bhagavad Gita. And that is the time marathon is approaching. So they started talking about Bhagavad Gita. And obviously, what is there inside that book because of which Russia is banning? So let us buy and read. So the Bhagavad Gita sales went up. But Krishna did not like it. Krishna thought, ISKCON is preaching, and now in the name of ISKCON, other Bhagavad Gita is getting publicity. So that's not good. Krishna did not like the idea. So after a few days, Russia said, okay, we have pressure from our all-season friend that we are lifting the ban on Bhagavad Gita. But one Bhagavad Gita, which is called Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, we are still holding the ban or not. So now Krishna is happy because all over the world people want to know what is ISKCON, who is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, and what is Bhagavad Gita as it is, what is the content. So they started purchasing everywhere. By the time that ban also went, month passed and we sold a lot of Bhagavad Gita. And people became devotees. That's how Krishna works. So, if the Creator, the Supreme Master, Krishna himself, he wants to, make his name famous, it will not take more than a microsecond for him to do that. But still he allows devotees. Why? Because he wants to know who actually loves him. Some of you might be, how many of you are working? Some of you are working and there's a system that you get some fixed salary, say 25,000, and then you also get commission on whatever you sell. So there are some people who are saying, okay, becha nahi becha, it's okay. If I get few thousand commission, I'm happy, but I'm getting fixed salary. So he is not the person company is looking for. That's why he is not a star performer. Company is looking for the person who may not be interested in this 25,000 fixed salary, who may not be interested even in the commission, who is interested in selling the products. And he is picked up. And gradually you will see these kind of people, they become area sales manager, regional manager, national marketing manager, sales manager, becomes the CEO. That's how they grow. It's the tendency. So similarly, now we have a sharing tendency. And we also have tendency who is working for us, who's interested in me and my product. So if these two, if you combine, then what happens? When you accept Krishna consciousness, share with others, and because you want to please the master, you want to please Krishna, you share more and keep on sharing. It's called preaching. In the course, someone may become devotee, someone will not become devotee. But you will become a pakka devotee. You will become a fixed up devotee. You will become dear to Krishna. That is exactly preaching. Preaching is not कि मैं अब दुनिया का उद्धार करने जा रहा हूँ. I will deliver this world. No. I want to prove myself to Krishna that I love you and I can do anything for you. So today one devotee asked me, one of the youth, he said, why we have so much of anxiety even though we are practicing Krishna consciousness? The reason is when you practice Krishna consciousness, some anxieties will go away, but very limited. And after few months, few years, you will still be, you still feel the same. You are still hankering for that ananda, for that bliss, for that peace. But it's not coming. You're chanting 16 rounds, you're following four regular principles, but that is not coming what you want. So I said, till the time you take up the mission, you take up this service of preaching, till the time you take burden, which is there on Krishna's shoulder, you take the burden on your shoulder, maybe a little bit. Nobody's telling you to take the entire Govardhan, but at least some small Shila you can take. That will give you bliss. How many of you are chanting 16 rounds from last 1 year? Okay. So, if you want, how many of you are chanting 16 rounds from last 6 months? So, if you want to really become happy, you start sharing. No matter what you know, what you don't know, no matter how many people are accepting it, you just keep sharing. आप जो भी आप नाम जप करते हो, इस्कॉन आते हो, दर्शन लेते हो, प्रसाद खाते हो, भगवत गीता पढ़ते हो, भागवत पढ़ते हो, क्लास सुनते हो, जो भी अच्छा लगता है, बस एक अपने आप को कमिटमेंट कर दो कि डेली एक व्यक्ति से मैं 5 मिनट के लिए जो भी मैंने आज अनुभव किया है भक्ति से रिलेटेड वो मैं शेयर करूँ. 28 days challenge. And trust me, 29वें दिन आप ढूंढोगे नहीं दुनिया में कि मुझे सुख चाहिए, मुझे आनंद चाहिए, क्योंकि आपको पता पड़ जाएगा कि खजाना कहाँ पे है. और एक खजाना कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. जितना चाहिए थोड़ा मैं उठा लूं. अभी बॉम्बे में पानी कट हो रहा है 10%. किनको तकलीफ होती है? जिनको पानी वैसे ही कम मिल रहा है. जिनके घरों में 10-10 हजार लीटर की टंकी भरी पड़ी है और पानी भरा पड़ा है और 2 लोग रह रहे, पति पत्नी, छोटा सा बच्चा है और 1-2 नौकर रह रहे हैं, उनको क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? उनका तो है कभी भी चालू करो, कभी भी बंद करो. उनके नल में 24 घंटा पानी आता है. जो रह रहा है बाहर या चौल में या फिर ऐसी सोसाइटी में जहाँ पे सवेरे 1 घंटा, शाम को 1 घंटा पानी आता है, तो उसको तो संभाल के रखना पड़ता है। प्राय बॉम्बे में ऐसे ही पानी आता है, तो उसको संभाल के रखना पड़ता है। तो जब आप प्रचार करते हो, जब आप दूसरों से शेयर करते हो, तो आपको लगता है, देखिए 28 दिन का चैलेंज इसीलिए दे रहा हूँ कि आप 28 दिन में आप जब करोगे तो उसमें देखोगे कि कुछ न कुछ लोग एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, इमीडिएटली नहीं, लेकिन बाद में सही। मान लीजिए आज आप गए, आपका पहला दिन है, आज से ही चालू कर, और आपने किसी को बताया, उसने सुना लेकिन उतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं लिया भक्ति में, लेकिन आपका काम वो है ही नहीं, आपको उसको भक्त बनाने का काम नहीं है, आपको है सिर्फ शेयर करना। अगर आप आईफोन के सेल्समैन हो, कभी देखा आईफोन का शोरूम देखा, भीड़ रहती है, 10-20 हजार लोग खड़े रहते हैं, ऐसा होता है, वो सिर्फ लॉन्च के दिन। और बटाटा वड़ा का ठेला देखे, वहां भीड़ रहती है। तो भक्ति देना बटाटा वड़ा देना नहीं, वो सिलेक्टेड रेंज ऑफ आईफोन दे रहे हो, वो भी नॉर्मल आईफोन नहीं, तो हर कोई नहीं लेगा। आपका काम है जाकर सिर्फ लोगों को बताना। तो हो सकता है आज आप जिसको बताओ वो स्वीकार ना करे, लेकिन 10-15 दिन में क्या होगा, उसके साथ ऐसी घटनाएं होंगी। हम सबके जीवन में ऐसी ऐसी घटनाएं होती रहती हैं, इसीलिए हम यहाँ पे मंदिर में बैठे। अगर आपका जीवन अच्छा चल रहा होता तो आज आप यहाँ नहीं बैठे होते। कड़वा है लेकिन सच है। अगर जीवन अच्छा चल रहा होता तो आप बाहर मजे मार रहे होते, लेकिन बाहर का जीवन मजे के रहे ही नहीं। कुछ लोग इतने जिद्दी हैं कि बाहर कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है फिर भी लगे हुए हैं। तो आप आज किसी को जब बताते हो कि आप भक्ति के बारे में उनको बताते हो, जो भी आपको अच्छा लगे, जितना भी आए, आप श्लोक बोल पाओ ना बोल पाओ, इससे कोई मतलब नहीं पड़ता। जब मैं 2 माला जप करता था, शुरू में जब आया था इस्कॉन में, मैं 2 माला जप करता था और मैंने लोगों को बोला चलो मंदिर चलो, लेके आता था, 10-10 लोग को लेके आता था, भले वो जप करे ना करे। कुछ लोग आज अभी जस्ट आधे घंटे पहले मुझे फोन आया, 18 साल बाद मेरे साथ एमबीए में एक जब मैं एमबीए कर रहा था तो एक व्यक्ति मेरे साथ था, एक स्टूडेंट मेरा क्लासमेट, आज उसके जीवन में परेशानी आई है, तो उसको याद आया कि चक्रवर्ती को फोन करता हूँ, कुछ हल निकालेगा, समस्या चल रही। तो जीवन में सबके प्रॉब्लम आते हैं, लोगों को सिर्फ पता नहीं है कि सॉल्यूशन कहाँ मिलेगा। अगर आप उनको बताओगे, आपने अपने मित्र को आज बताया 5 मिनट भक्ति के बारे में, कल फिर दूसरे को बताया, परसों तीसरे को बताया, उसके बाद चौथा, पांचवा, छठवां, सातवां, तब तक क्या होगा, 7 दिन में जो पहले वाला है ना, उसके जीवन में कुछ ना कुछ उतार चढ़ाव चल ही रहा है, तो उसका क्लिक करेगा, दिमाग की बत्ती जलेगी, वो किसके पास आएगा, वो आपके पास आएगा। वो मंदिर आने में शर्मा रहा है। मैं 1 महीने तक रोज आता था, बाइक पे जाता था मैं मंदिर के मेन गेट पे जाता था, देखता था साधु लोग घूम रहे अंदर, मतलब नहीं कुछ खिला पिला दिया, गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, बाइक लेके वापस। फिर 2 दिन बाद आता था, क्योंकि आना यहीं पे है, क्योंकि ये साधु पे भरोसा नहीं था, लेकिन इनके जो गुरुजी है ना, उनका भगवत गीता मैंने पढ़ा था, वो गुरुजी अच्छे है। अब वो गुरुजी पता नहीं दिख नहीं रहे मेरे को, तो मैं रोज जाता था 1 महीना तक मैं जाता था गेट से वापस, जाता था गेट से वापस, जाता था गेट से वापस, चैंटिंग वैंटिंग कुछ नहीं चालू। फिर एक दिन मैं एक दोस्त के साथ मूवी देखने चला, थोड़ी 8 मूवी टाइप की थी, लेकिन उसमें एक वाक्य था, सत्य सरल है। बस वो मैंने सुना, मैं उठा आधी मूवी से, बाइक चालू किया, सीधा मंदिर के अंदर, वो दिमाग का बत्ती जला, सत्य सरल है। अंदर घुस गया, अंदर गया, देखा अंदर है, राधा कृष्ण है, दर्शन लिया है, गौरव आया, ठीक है चलो हो गया, चलो अभी बताओ ये गुरुजी किधर मिलेंगे, भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी। तो फिर जिससे पूछा उसके तो थोड़ा सा दिन में तारे दिख गए कि क्या पूछ रहा है। फिर उन्होंने दूसरे को बताया, इसलिए मेरे को प्रचार किया और उसी दिन से मेरा चैंटिंग चालू। कब किधर किसका बत्ती जलेगा पता नहीं, इसीलिए आज आप जिसको बता रहे हो उसके जीवन में कुछ ऐसा होगा 7 दिन में, 8 दिन में, 10 दिन में, 12 दिन, 15 दिन में वो आपके पास आएगा, क्योंकि वो शर्माता है ना मंदिर जाने में, किसके पास जाऊं, क्या जाऊं। हम बाहर से कितने भी फंकी दिखें और बड़ा हेयर स्टाइल लगाएं, कपड़ा कैसा भी पहने, अंदर से हम लोग थोड़े हिचकते तो हैं, हर कोई हिचकता है, स्पेशली ऐसा सेंसिटिव मैटर हो कि मेरा पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम चल रही है और मैं कैसे। लेकिन अगर आपने अपने दोस्त को बताया तो उसको आपके पास आने में बिल्कुल हिचक नहीं होगी, और वो पहला बोलेगा, फोन करेगा, और कैसा है, हाँ बस ठीक है, आप तुम बताओ, ऐसा ऐसा मिल सकता है, एकदम गंभीर, लो टोन, गंभीर, क्यों क्या हो गया, नहीं मिल तो बता दो। फिर वो, क्योंकि उसको पता है कि आप मंदिर जाते हो, आप भक्ति करते हो, आप गीता पढ़ते हो, तो उससे तो एक स्टेप आ गई, और वो आपको अपना बात बताएगा। और जिस दिन, आप में से कितने लोग हैं कि आपने किसी को प्रचार किया हो, तब नहीं तो कभी उसने बोला हाँ अच्छा है, अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, किसी ने बोला, प्रचार किया है किसी ने, तो कोई प्रचार नहीं करता है तो हाथ उठाओ। तो वो जो आएगा और बोलेगा कि मुझे भी बताओ, फिर आप पूरा जीवन भक्ति छोड़ नहीं पाएगा। जब आपको देखेगा कि एक व्यक्ति को मैंने हेल्प किया है, फिर आप प्रोसेस कभी छोड़ेगा नहीं, फिर आप आगे रहेंगे। इसीलिए 28 दिन का चैलेंज, क्योंकि 28 दिन में आप 28 लोगों के पास जाओगे मिनिमम, ज्यादा भी जा सकते हो लेकिन मिनिमम, तो कोई तो वापस आएगा। आज 3 तारीख है, 28 दिन बाद ये महीना खत्म हो जाएगा, और आपको वो गुफा भी मिल जाएगी और वो मंत्र भी मिल जाएगा, जिसको बोलोगे तो खुल जा सिम सिम, तो खुल जाएगा। अंदर खजाना भरा पड़ा है। अगर आपने ये ढूंढ लिया, आपने अपने जीवन का सबसे बड़ा, सबसे रहस्यमय खोज कर ली, फिर आप सिर्फ जीवन में आगे बढ़ोगे, पीछे नहीं बढ़ोगे, पीछे नहीं जाओ। इसीलिए प्रीचिंग को एसेंस बोला, पूरे का पूरा जीवन बदल जाता। हमारा बदला कि नहीं? बदला ना? पूरा जीवन बदल जाए। आपको लगता है मेरे को लोग 100 रुपए दे के बोले चाहो प्रचार करो, ये लो 100 रुपए पकड़ो, क्योंकि मछली और दारू हम लेते नहीं, चुनाव का माहौल चल रहा है, चलो साधु को 100 रुपए दे देते, थोड़ा जाके बोलेगा। नहीं, आपको दिख जाता है कि कोई खुद अपने हृदय से बोल रहा है, उसका अनुभव से बोल रहा है। यही तो चाहिए जीवन में। क्या चाहिए? आप पैसा कितना भी कमा लो, उससे ज्यादा कोई फायदा नहीं होता है। जितने लोग पैसा कमाए अल्टीमेटली वो अकेले बैठे हुए। आज कितनी सारी मशीन आ रही है, देख रहे हो कितनी मशीन है, इतनी मशीन है, इतनी मशीन कि आदमी अकेला जिएगा, सब रोबोट कर रहे हैं आपके। लड़कियां अकेले जिएंगी, लड़का अकेले जिएगा, पैसा कमाने से लाइफ नहीं है ना। जीवन में उद्देश्य क्या है, और उद्देश्य को आप प्राप्त करने की दिशा में जा रहे हो। 28 दिन का चैलेंज, मैं गारंटी देता हूँ आप में से मैक्सिमम लोग अपने जीवन के उद्देश्य को ढूंढेंगे। तो कितने लोग स्वीकार करते हैं 28 दिन का चैलेंज? रोज 5 मिनट जाकर किसी को आपको बताना अपना भक्ति का अनुभव, बस बस ये करो, 28 दिन बाद मिलेंगे, फिर आप बताना, आप अपने अपने फैसिलिटेटर्स को बताइएगा, अनुभव शेयर कीजिएगा, और आप देखेंगे चमत्कार हो। एक डिवोटी ने कहा था, डिवोटी से किसी ने पूछा कि प्रभु जी आप चमत्कार में विश्वास करते हो? बोले नहीं, हम चमत्कार में विश्वास नहीं करते, हम चमत्कार में जीते हैं। हरे कृष्णा। चलो अभी दूसरा जगह चुनाव की रैली करनी है। हमारा चुनाव ये बंगाल जैसा नहीं है, हमारा चुनाव साल के 24 महीने चलता है और ऐसे बिजी लगता है।
हरे कृष्णा। सो ब्लिस फॉर्मूला सबके सरल है। प्रभु जी ने बहुत सरल तरीके से हमें बताया कि 28 डेज चैलेंज लेना है, 5 मिनट्स एवरी डे एंड देन यू विल गेट द ट्रेजर हाउस। और वास्तविक है, एक उदाहरण दिया जाता है जैसे कि एक शेर होता है, शेर जब एक मनुष्य को खाता है और उसका खून चख लेता है, उसके बाद ही डज नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद एनीथिंग लेसर, ही वांट्स ओनली ह्यूमन ब्लड। वैसे जब आपको प्रचार का चस्का लगेगा एंड यू विल नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद एनीथिंग लोअर, बस प्रचार ही चाहिए आपको, उसमें बहुत आनंद आता है। तो विशेष धन्यवाद है चक्रवर्ती प्रभु का। आइए हम हृदय से प्रभु जी का धन्यवाद आभार व्यक्त करते हैं हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र बोलकर। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हमारे अगले सत्र के लिए नेक्स्ट सेशन में इनवाइट हिज सुंदर चैतन्य प्रभु। Prabhuji hails from Pune, by educational qualification, an engineer, and Prabhuji started taking responsibilities at ISKCON Juhu in preaching seva from 2009. From then on, he had done many sevas in various places. Prabhuji has opened youth centers in many places, Kopargaon. Prabhuji was active in Surat also, and Jalgaon. Currently, Prabhuji is heading the youth preaching department at ISKCON Juhu. He is the director of ISKCON Juhu youth preaching department. Prabhuji also is a council member, which is top management body of ISKCON Juhu, and Prabhuji also is a chairman of Brahmachari Ashram Council. Along with that, he has many programs like in Goregaon, he has preaching center going on, inspiring many devotees. So let us welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra from heart. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
तो जैसे हम देख रहे थे कि अद्भुत हरि प्रभु और ग्रेस चक्रवर्ती प्रभु was talking about preaching and how it has tremendous effect of bringing us close to the greatest gift, greatest treasure, that is happiness in our life. So let us now, I'll be talking about these 3 questions generally people have when we are preaching. Because when we are talking about preaching, both of them they covered the importance of preaching in personal life and how we get benefited by preaching. The way Prabhuji was telling that by preaching 3 people are happy. One who preaches, one who is getting preached, and Krishna. So we see that by preaching everybody becomes happy. The whole world becomes happy by preaching. So today we are discussing about how by preaching we preserve our heritage. We preserve our संस्कृति. अगर ये प्रचार नहीं होता है तो फिर जो हमारा संस्कृति है वो हमारे आंखों के सामने ओझल हो जाता है, चला जाता है, ज्यादा समय नहीं लगता। तो हम देखते हैं कि इफ यू हैव टू प्रिजर्व यू हैव टू प्रीच। अगर प्रचार नहीं होगा तो इतना हमारा अच्छा आध्यात्मिक संस्कृति है वो भी चला जाएगा। अच्छा, तो हम देखते हैं ये दुनिया में कि wherever and wherever no when this has happened that we don't maintain the continuity of transferring knowledge, then what happens? That link is broken, as Krishna says very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, that why I am giving you this knowledge? Because this knowledge I gave it to sun god Vivaswan crores of years back. But my dear Arjuna, I have to come again and teach you this knowledge because the connection is lost. So that parampara is lost, and then the knowledge also is lost. And when the parampara is lost, very valuable knowledge is out of our hand. So that's why it is very important that we preserve by preaching. And we can see also that in people are very much emotional when we see that in 12th century Khilji came and then he burnt Nalanda, right? So who destroyed Nalanda? Khilji. But then more than Khilji, who is destroying the heritage of India? Mughals. Britishers? Who? Westerners? Outsiders? Huh? Indian Sanskriti, जो Indian culture है, who has destroyed maximum? Huh? Yeah, Indian ourselves, we ourselves have destroyed it. So Khilji has not destroyed Nalanda. Who has destroyed? We. When we don't preserve it, even 100 Khiljis come, the knowledge is not going to get destroyed. Even if Britishers come 10 times, knowledge is not going to destroy it. But then when we become away from knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then very easily it is destroyed. So the culture is not destroyed by outside attacks. Culture is destroyed by inside attacks. So we see that the Indian culture of spirituality was impossible for Mughals to destroy when they were ruling us, hundreds and hundreds of years. Even after British came 200-300 years, they ruled. They also couldn't touch and actually destroy Indian culture. It was still there. But then we see that उनका जो बचा हुआ काम था इंडियन कल्चर को खत्म करने का, वो कौन कर रहे हैं? हम सब मिलके कर रहे हैं। अच्छा है ना? So we have to understand that what we are doing about our culture. हम बोल सकते हैं कि भारतीय संस्कृति अभी खत्म हो रहा है वगैरह वगैरह, बट देन द क्वेश्चन टू बी आस्क्ड इज कौन कर रहे हैं? हम खुद कर रहे हैं। तो ये पहले तो समझना चाहिए कि ये जो ज्ञान है भगवद गीता का, दैट इज गिवन इन लाइन ऑफ डिसिप्लिक सक्सेशन। एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्ट परंतप। Krishna says that this knowledge was given in parampara system. Guru gives to disciple, disciple gives to his disciple. And then in home also we see that the father mother teaches to the sons and daughter, and then they teaches to their sons and daughter. And like that, the parampara continues. But then we see that to culture to get destroyed, it just take 3 generations. When 3 generations don't follow that, 4th generation is already out of that touch. So when Prabhupada went to America, they had no idea who is Ram, who is Krishna, and then it was very difficult. But don't think that that will not happen here. Ram and Krishna has appeared in this world, in this Bharatvarsha. Why I am telling this? Because once I had gone to distribute Bhagavad Gita in one school, and we were just discussing that how this Bhagavad Gita is very important. Like, we asked one question: who spoke Bhagavad Gita to whom? And then everybody was pin drop silence. This was 8th standard of the school, and people had no idea who has written, who has said Bhagavad Gita to whom. And that was so embarrassing. The teacher was feeling embarrassed because उनका नाक कट रहा था. So he asked maybe that person was topper of that class or something like that, and then he asked who said to whom. So then that boy got up and then he said that Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna to Ram. तो मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा था कि अभी हंसू या रो. और ये बाहर नहीं है, यहीं पे है हमारा ये हाल है. तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि if this knowledge is not transferred, then we lose it. Then don't be surprised if the next generation ask कि आप बोलेंगे भगवद गीता पढ़ो, तो बोलेंगे भगवद गीता क्या होता है. ऐसा प्रश्न भी पूछने वाले लोग रहेंगे भारत में. If we don't continue that dissemination of knowledge. So it is very important to preserve our tradition, to preserve our culture, to preserve this very important spiritual aspect. It is very important that we transfer to the next generation. We share with others. If you don't share, we lose it. Simple. So, and generally people don't take so much of, when it comes to sharing, when we have doubts about, then we don't tend to share. So I'll be taking these 3 doubts. Why generally people, they feel that when we talk about preaching, that preaching appears something like conversion. You catch somebody and then bombard him and then you convert him. So people feel that अरे थोड़ा दूर रहो, ये लोग पकड़ते हैं और फिर चालू कर देते हैं धुआंधार. So सोचते कि थोड़ा सा दूर रहो. But then we have to understand that what we are having, what is getting discussed, what is the subject matter, that has to be understood properly. जैसे अभी प्रभुजी बोल रहे थे कि कैसे भगवद गीता का वितरण हम करते हैं स्पेसिफिकली इन मैराथन दिसंबर महीने में. क्यों दिसंबर महीने में? आप में से कितने लोगों को पता है कि गीता कौन से दिन बोला था? देखो, हाथ ऊपर कीजिए। देखिए, यहाँ पे 10-12 लोग हैं जो हाथ ऊपर करें। तो आप समझ रहे हो ना, ये हाल है हमारा। तो जो भगवत गीता हमारा धर्म ग्रंथ है, उसके बारे में भी हम नहीं जानते। बाकी फेसबुक के बारे में, इंस्टा के बारे में सब जानेंगे, लेकिन जो हमारा फाउंडेशन है संस्कृति का, वो नहीं जानते। तो ये जो गीता जयंती है, वो दिसंबर महीने में आता है। गीता बोला गया था एकादशी के दिन। उसको क्या बोलते हैं? मोक्षदा एकादशी, जो दिसंबर महीने में आता है। तो दिसंबर महीने में हम पूरे विश्व में गीता का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं, प्रचार करते हैं, कॉलेजेस में, स्कूल्स में, बहुत जगह पे। सो मेनी टाइम्स दिस क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड that one person, he came to temple, he was very agitated. He said, what is this? ISKCON has ruined the Indian culture. I said, what happened? He said, Bhagavad Gita is so sacred, इतना पवित्र धर्म ग्रंथ आप बेच रहे हो, वो भी रास्ते पे। ठीक है क्या ये? आप बोलो ठीक है, ये हमारा पवित्र धर्म ग्रंथ है और वो आप रास्ते पे जाके बेच रहे हो, उसका कुछ वैल्यू है कि नहीं? We have to understand here that why we are doing it. Because when the patient is not able to come to temple, not able to come to hospital, then what happens? Doctor has to go to that place to recover. So similarly, now we see that people are not coming to. आप सब लोग थोड़ा आगे आएंगे क्या? Okay. Move little ahead so that you will help your friends to get up. तो ये तो पहला प्रश्न हम देख रहे थे कि क्यों हम ऐसा करते हैं। तो यहाँ पे हम समझते हैं कि जब तक ये ज्ञान लोगों में नहीं जाएगा, till the point we don't take this knowledge to each and every Indian first, and then each and every human being all over the world, there is no way this can be preserved. So we want that this Bhagavad Gita is read by everybody. So, but then we see that when people are, they have so many other things to do, they have so many other priorities, and Bhagavad Gita becomes the last priority in their life. So devotees taking concern for such people, they go out, home delivery, and then they give Bhagavad Gita to them. Because when Prabhupada also went to London, he was asked by one of the reporters. He saw that the Swamiji has come all the way from India. So very sarcastically he asked Prabhupada. He said, Swamiji, why you have come to our country? Because generally people, Indians, they go to America or US, UK for earning either money or followers or things like that. So his tone was like that. तो आप भी यहाँ पे आए हैं धंधा करने के लिए? That was his tone. So when this was asked to Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, actually you Britishers, you came to our country and ruled over us and looted everything. Whatever gold, silver, diamonds, he looted and took it to Britain. But he said, most important wealth, you forgotten. Important diamond, you took the Kohinoor, but important diamond you forgot. He said, I have come to give that land. Home delivery. So then he said that the real glory of India is not the silver and gold and diamonds. The real glory of India is the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. He said, I have come to deliver you. So rather than feeling why these devotees are going around and preaching, we should feel that they are taking trouble and they are taking blame. But then to serve Krishna, they are going out and then meeting people and telling them that please read this Bhagavad Gita. So that is the first thing. Second, some people feel that please don't disturb. जिसको जो करना है करने दो. आप ये मत बताओ, ये मत करो, ये करो. ऐसा. Some people feel that let people have their own life. Don't intrude in their privacy. तो उनको अगर नॉनवेज खाना है तो खाने दो. आप क्यों उनको मना कर रहे हो? हाँ, वो खुद से उनको पता चलेगा तो ठीक है. Why you tell get up early? उनको खुद को पता चलना चाहिए कि हाँ. But then we see that when we are doing preaching means we are trying to see that we are benefiting people when person is unwilling sometimes. For example, when the child is having some fever and then mother wants to give some medicine and child is not willing to take that medicine because it is kadwa. It's very bitter. Then what mother does? She says, see child, you have a fever. No, I'm keeping this medicine here. Whenever you feel like taking, you please take it. Right now? Then what she does? She force. Sometimes she will slap or put it in some laddu and then give. She will do anything so that child will take that medicine. So we also want to give this Bhagavad Gita on behalf of Krishna by any way. So people may tell that why you are forcing, but it is not force. If that is the case, then parents are not supposed to force child to go to school also, right? They should not force. They should say that whenever the child feels like going to school, he can go. If that was the case, then क्या होता था हमारा? हाँ, तो मक्खी मारते थे घर में बैठ. So, but then because they forced, we are educated now. So similarly, forcing is not a problem. Force has to be done for right cause. So it is not, we are not disturbing people by telling that, okay, you read Bhagavad Gita, you chant Hare Krishna. Because we are doing the right thing, beneficial thing. And third thing is, sometimes people feel that Hare Krishna is like a brainwashing. You have heard that? They feel that my friend was there when I was in engineering. I was in third year. And then one of my friend, he was also quite religious type. So I used to call him that, please come, Bhagavad Gita classes are there. So he will say that, I know that this is very nice. I also like it, but I don't want to come. I said, Arey, you know that it is good. Why you don't want to come? इसे नहीं नहीं वहां पे जाऊंगा तो फिर नॉनवेज छोड़ना पड़ेगा और फिर वो नहीं होगा मेरे से. So he felt that when he comes there, we will kind of pura we'll change him, and then. But then we see that this kind of like this question was asked to Prabhupada. Said that people are telling that ISKCON people are brainwashing. He said yes, we are washing the brain of people because it is filled with dirt. कीचड़ भरा है तो हम उसको क्लीन कर रहे हैं तो हमको पैसा देना चाहिए उन्हें. हम उनका काम कर रहे हैं. So if the brain is dirty, then it has to be washed. But then we see that every teaching is one type of brainwashing, isn't it? Every advertisement is not brainwashing. So have mother and father not brainwashed child to go to school? Have not the teachers in our school, they have told us how to lead our life? And then when you go and see the advertisement, now the heat has come, so all the soft drinks will have धुआंधार उनका ये चलता है. And then every ad is like that. And when you see that ad 20 times, what happens? When you go to the shop, that only you ask. So, are you not brainwashed? So, in this world, brainwashing is going on every day. Everybody is trying to brainwash. Your parents are trying to brainwash you so that you can do something good. The advertisement industry is trying to brainwash you so that you can take their product. Similarly, when Krishna and Krishna's devotees, they come, they also want to advertise that please come and have this. This is very nice. So when we are talking about brainwashing, brainwashing is not bad if it is done for good purpose, if it is for the benefit of people. So brainwashing is bad when it is done with wrong motive, to control, exploit people. So when Krishna is telling Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, is it brainwashing? No, it's not brainwashing. It is for the welfare of Arjuna. Rather, it is welfare of everybody in this world. So when we are talking about preaching, as we were discussing in last 1 hour, 1.5 hours, that preaching is beneficial for everybody, us, others, and Krishna is also pleased. And we see that unless we give this knowledge ahead, we don't share this knowledge, then that knowledge is lost. So we don't want to lose this valuable knowledge. So it is very important that we preach. Preaching is not that you give some Bhagavad Saptah with 10,000 people ahead. No. Preaching means sharing. You can share to your friend, you can share to your whoever is there in the company or college, or just share that I am doing like this. Would you like to do? That's it. We may not be very great scholar, or we may not be able to give answer to their question, no problem. We can also say that I am also practicing. You also try. So by preaching, we preserve. And then the first question we saw that Bhagavad Gita we are taking on the street. But then that is not, we are lessening the sanctity of Bhagavad Gita. Rather, we are home delivering Bhagavad Gita to those who have forgotten that this Bhagavad Gita is so important. And second thing we saw that we are not here to disturb people. for our benefit. We are here to give benefit to people. The way a child is disturbed by mother for taking medicine, that is good for the child. And then third, we saw that we are not here to brainwash in that negative manner. We are not here to exploit. We are not here to take advantage. But then, if you don't brainwash in a right sense, we are already going through heavy brainwash every day through media, through so many things. So if you want to save ourselves from that brainwashing, let us open our heart to teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So I am very happy that all of you have come here and you are regularly coming here. So that is very, very nice to see. So when each one of us, we take this knowledge seriously and then we share, then we can see that there can be a huge difference to the world. Because revolution starts not with 1,000 people. Revolution always starts with one person. There is only one Mangal Pandey is enough to start the whole revolution. So that revolution is awaited now, that we should have this spiritual revolution. So I thank all of you for being part of this revolution. So let us take it ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thankful to His Grace Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu for very systematically explaining what is preaching and why it is important, what doubts keeps us away from preaching or inhibit our enthusiasm for preaching. And finally, keeping all these doubts away, wrong notions away, we should be firmly convinced to share this message in order to avoid such undesirable future outcomes. So let us thank His Grace Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu by heartily chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. We're grateful to all the three speakers for sharing very valuable insights about this topic. Preaching is the essence. So our efforts, as Prabhuji mentioned, that it's not that we have to preach to thousands of people, as they say in common world outside, that each one teach one. Just bring one more person to Krishna consciousness for the next program, and the job will be done. Eventually, it will increase exponentially. Now, next phase of the program is we have a beautiful, wonderful, stunning drama. The devotees are waiting already. So let us welcome them with a round of applause. कॉलर है वो पूछना कितने चाहिए वो भी लेगा हाउ मेनी माइक्स वी कितने माइक चाहिए एक हैंडल है एक ये वाला है दो चाहिए
नरसिम्हा का ही है
अभी घर पे जा रहे थे यार
भाई कब थे